Hi guys, welcome to week 11. These videos are posting a little bit early because I will be busy not busy this weekend, but I won't be able to film this weekend. So, your test should have entirely been graded and hopefully I'll get your week 10 assignments back to you pretty soon. This week, we're still just a tiny bit ahead of the syllabus, so we're going to move on to Unit 12 and talk about the subdominant chord. So, I'm going to turn you guys towards here. Okay, so that's page 158 and 159 in your books. So, subdominant chord, if you look down at the little area that says tonic and subdominant down at the bottom of page 58, we've talked about what dominant means and what tonic means, obviously. Tonic is a chord that begins on the first note of our scale, so for in C major chord. Dominant starts on the fifth note of the scale, so 5 would be G, B, and D in the key of C. Subdominant is kind of what it sounds like. It's right below the dominant. It's going to be 4. In a major key, it's going to be a major triad. So in C major, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be F, A, and C. Okay? All right. So we're doing chord progressions like the one that you're going to see on page 159, 1 to 1 6 or 4 6 4 to 1. That is going to be in an inversion. So essentially what that means is just that we're going to be moving a chord around a little bit so that the root is not the bottom note, but instead it's one of the other notes. It's going to have a slightly different shape. So if you look at 6-19, if you look at that second chord in the first measure, that's an F major chord, but it's in an inversion. Okay? We haven't talked a lot about inversions yet, but we will later in the semester, and that'll be a big part of the next class that you're going to take when you do harmonization. It's an easier way to move around without having to jump from root position chord to root position chord. But for right now, we're just going to stick with this progression. Okay? So if you look at that those first two measures again, for one chord, or 4 6 4, the top notes move up by a whole step, back to a root position 1. Okay. Then we go to the next measure. We have key of F major 1 4 6 4 and 1 as well. So we're going to scoot up, do the same thing. The next measure we have G major. We're going to do 1 1 6 4 and 1. So by now you should start feeling, hey, that pattern's really similar. So anytime that you see that 4, we're going to expand the top two notes, but keep our thumbs the same. So 1 or 4 6 4 and 1. Okay? Alright, and then C major again. Cool. So now let's go down to the bottom of the page. Look at 6-21 through 24. This is practice the above exercises in the following major keys. So we're going to do that. It's going to be the same outline as what we just did. The only difference is that our key is going to be determined by what's in front of us. So if we're in D major, we have our root D major chord. We're going to move to a 4 6 4, which is G major in an inversion, but keep our thumb on the D, and then go back to root. So D major, G major, D major. Okay, so 1 4 6 4 and then 1. So the next key is G, so we move up, and hey, we've already done this G major one, it's right in front of you. So 1 4 6 4 and 1, and then we're back, and then we got A major after that, so we're going to scoot up 1, and we're going to do 1 for A major, 4 6 4 A, D, F sharp, and then back to 1. Okay? Alright. And then our last chords are going to be our D major inversion that we did at the beginning. Alright, so now let's blast a little bit through 6-22 through 24. What I'm looking for mainly is just you're able to figure out those patterns on your own. Okay? So I will call out the Roman numerals and everything, but play along with me. You'll be able to hear when we're not playing the same thing, and that'll help you know, hey, am I playing all the right notes and everything. Okay? Alright. So 1 in E major, 4 6 4, 1 in A major, move up, 1 4 6 4, 1, move up to B major, 1, 6-23, D flat major. Okay? And make sure that when you're moving those notes up, you're moving, the middle note is going to move, if we go back to E major, middle note's going to move by a half step, top note's going to move by a whole step. So just watch out for that. You can get off and play the wrong chord that way. Also listen for entirely major sounds, no minor sounds right now. Okay? All right, so here we are in D flat, 4, 6, 4. Okay, now move to G flat major. 1, 1, 6, 4. Make sure you have a B natural in there. 1, A flat major. 1, 4, 6, 4. 1, and then back to D flat major. 1. That progression again. And last one for this video, 6-24. We're going to do E flat. Okay, so 1, 4, 6, 4. 1. Cool. We've done A flat already. 1, 4, 6, 4. 1. B flat. 1, 4, 6, 4. 1. And then E flat. Okay, feel free to transpose it. That's pretty much through every key. If you're doing the sharps, you're going to be doing the same thing. You're just going to be thinking about the notes a slightly bit different. Okay? All right, so next video, we're going to keep going on and talk a little bit more about transposition and really hammering that home.